If you follow Elon Musk on X, his feed is just this relentless stream of, well, everything. Engineering, AI, controversy, memes. It's a total fire hose of information, and it can be pretty overwhelming to keep up with. So for this explainer, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to distill just one 24-hour period of his activity to really see what kind of themes pop up when you lay it all out.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Here's how we're breaking it down. We've sorted through his posts from a single day and organized them into three main areas. First, his work on literally building the future. Second, his thoughts on the whole AI revolution. And finally, his engagement with society and, yes, controversy.
All right, first up, let's talk about the tangible world. I mean, the actual stuff he's building. This is Musk the engineer, the one who's focused on pushing the boundaries of what's physically possible at companies like Tesla and SpaceX.
So on this particular day, he was deep in the weeds at Tesla. He was talking about a brand new chip research fab for what he called lightning fast development, and even said his chip design reviews are so fun. He also had a little laugh, replying to the Optimus robot account after it joked about taking a floor cleaner's job. But then you see this reposted idea, and it hints at this much, much grander vision, that Tesla's real strength in robotics could one day create a whole new manufacturing frontier on the moon.
And that moon idea? Well, that brings us right to SpaceX. The company's president, Gwynne Shotwell, laid out this unbelievably ambitious goal, a full-on moon settlement and manufacturing facility, not in some distant future, but within 5 to 10 years, a plan that even includes its own AI and data centers on the lunar surface. And Musk's public response to this massive vision? Just one word: true.
Now, I want you to think about a number that's going to make you look up at the sky a little differently. 31,000 kilometers. That is how close a 370-meter asteroid called Apophis is going to fly past Earth in 2029. To put that in perspective, that is closer than some of our own satellites, and you'll actually be able to see it with the naked eye. The risk of impact this time is low, but wow, what a stark reminder of the cosmic threats that are out there.
So when a post laid out this exact risk and wrapped up by saying that's why becoming multiplanetary matters, what was Musk's response? It was just as stark and just as definitive. Absolutely. This one word really just perfectly captures the existential urgency that seems to drive so much of his work at SpaceX.
Okay, so you see the connection, right? From engineering the physical world, we're now going to shift to engineering intelligence itself. This whole next section is about his work and his commentary on artificial intelligence. Yeah, he spent a lot of this day really boosting his AI Grok. He reposted its new logo, which is inspired by the Singularity. He talked up its voice-to-image feature, saying it's great for kids with an amazing imagination. And he highlighted reports that Grok's video generation is already surprising startups with its quality, speed, and cost. He even got a little nostalgic, pointing out that the very first item ever sold on Amazon was a book about AI, and he commented, it was the start of something great. It's like he's tracing the origins of this whole revolution right back to its beginning. And then things get a little abstract. He posts this really fascinating phrase, Hadamard thought in image space. What does that even mean, right? Well, he actually asked his own AI, Grok, to explain it, and Grok defined it as this form of deep creative thinking that doesn't rely on words, but on mental pictures and spatial intuition. And Musk seems to think understanding this is a key step towards creating true artificial general intelligence.
So what did Musk think of his AI's explanation of this super complex idea? His review was perfect. Just 2 words, Grok groks. It gets it. It understands.
But, it wasn't all just about his own AI. He also waded into some drama with competitors. Specifically, a story that alleged the AI company Anthropic had accidentally leaked its own secret code and then sent legal threats to the developers who saw it.
So his response to this whole messy situation? It was a masterclass in saying a lot with very, very little. Just one syllable. That's it. It's so non-committal, but it just hangs there, It kind of lets you fill in all the blanks yourself.
All right, now we're going to shift gears, and this is where we get into his engagement with some more, let's say, socially and politically charged topics. And just to be super clear, we're simply going to present what he commented on and what he reposted during this 24-hour window. So sticking with that company, Anthropic, he also reposted this chart. And what it shows are the political donations from people linked to the company back in the 2020 election cycle. As you can see, it breaks down to 99.8% going to Democrats and just 0.16% to Republicans.
Okay, next up, he weighed in on a really viral post about government spending. The claim in this post was that New York City spent nearly $82,000 for every homeless person last year, and it argued that this money wasn't actually going to the people themselves, but mostly to fund the bureaucracy around the issue.
So what was Musk's take on this? He commented directly, and his argument was this: most of the money doesn't even go to help homeless, it just funds NGOs.
He also got involved in a conversation about the verdict in a really high-profile trial. A jury acquitted a man on the top murder charge in the death of an NYPD officer, Jonathan Diller, though he was convicted on lesser charges. And as you can imagine, this verdict kicked off a huge chain of commentary.
So here's how it unfolded. One user reacted to the news by claiming that jury trials are no longer about justice, but have become ethnic head counts, alleging that jurors just show preference for their own ethnic group. Then another user saw that comment and took it a step further. They called the whole situation an indicator of civilizational collapse and concluded that when the rule of law dies, the only thing that's left is war. And that is the comment that Musk replied to directly. In response to that idea of civilizational collapse leading to war, he wrote, "It may come to that."
So, wow. Okay, we've gone from chip design to AI to comments on civilizational collapse, all in one day. You have to ask, right? Is there some kind of single philosophy that ties all of this together? Well, this last section explores one possible answer.
I mean, seriously, what is it that drives this? This completely relentless, non-stop stream of ideas, provocations, and declarations, all happening in a single 24-hour period.
Well, incredibly, on this exact same day, Musk reposted something that might just be the key. It was from a former colleague who was trying to define the Elon mindset, and the term he used was truth maxing. It's this idea of a hardcore, relentless pursuit of what you believe to be true. The core principle is being willing to contradict literally everyone if you are absolutely convinced that you are right about something.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. Whether you look at this truth-maxing idea and think it's heroic, or maybe think it's dangerous, or something else entirely, the posts from just this one day show a mind that is constantly pushing against the boundaries of what's possible and what's acceptable. So the real question isn't just about what Elon Musk thinks. It's what happens when one person's unfiltered, hardcore pursuit of their version of truth has the power to shape the future for every single one of us.